Major Mohammed Ali Shah, defense and strategic expert, joining us live. Sir, good evening. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to the both of you for joining me this evening, especially given this very powerful, important speech by the Prime Minister, the first one since Operation Sindoor. I'm going to come to you, sir, first, Major Mohammed Ali Shah. We're looking at this position potentially leading to a shift in South Asian geopolitics, because we've been seeing that this is coming in at a time where leaders around the world are making commentary about India-Pak relations. But with India taking such a firm stance, do you think that this could actually have economic consequences? Definitely for Pakistan is something that we're already seeing at the moment, but particularly concerning cross-border trade and investments.
You're right, Sanjana. You said it right. This thing will definitely take a beating, in fact, I would say, on the trade and on profit, no doubt. Firstly, before I come to your point, I would like to say, it was all very crystal clear with the press conference, whatever bit we heard today, and with the Prime Minister's address. So, through your channel, I would urge the nation not to go by what false narratives and fake news is, especially from Pakistan, because these people are peddling in fake news, false narratives, and I'm surprised that educated people are sending me narratives of the Pakistan, of the ISI, and they're asking me, hey, you served in the army. Is this true? My response is very, very standard. How do I know? And I wasn't there in the war zone. I'm not privy to the secrets over there. I don't know. How do you expect me to know? And please, for heaven's sake, do not share this. Just plain and simple. So now at least I hope everyone's anxiety is at rest. People who are very, very curious about what's going to happen. Now coming back to the economy, what happens being a soldier who has lived 30 meters away from the Pakistani post for 2 years in J&K. In fact, right from 2003, I was there. 2003, the ceasefire had taken place, and it happened before my eyes. So I've seen enough bloodshed and people dying. And the toughest job that I did in the army was when I had to call someone's house and say that your father, your brother, or your son, or your loved one is no more in this world. So since I've seen bloodshed, I totally detest war, bloodshed, fights. Though we are ready to lay down our life for the nation, if need be. But I am never in favor of war. It only leads to losses from both sides. The economy of both the nations go behind by many, many years. One more, the other less. But the fact is, both economies go behind. One might lose 100 people. It's just a figure I'm telling you. Other might lose 10 men. But the fact is, both the nations lose men. But this time, I would say what Pakistan did was actually unpardonable, and they would never change. So now, when we talk about the economy, yes, the economy would go down of not just Pakistan and India, but of other nations as well. Because look at the Russia-Ukraine war. It affected the economy. Look at Israel and Hamas. It has definitely taken a beating on the economy of not just Israel and Hamas, but of somewhere directly or indirectly of the entire world. When it's okay. Now, for example, 2 days back, yesterday, we got news that Donald Trump has granted a thick loan to Pakistan as a loan from the IMF, which was getting very difficult for Pakistan though, because they've defaulted many times in repaying IMF loans. We have taken loans from IMF, but we have been very responsible in repaying it back on time. Now, when Donald Trump granted this loan, everybody was speculating what could be, why, how. Probably he said, cool down, calm down, step back aside. But instead of de-escalating, he escalated it further. They even broke the ceasefire that day. My take on that was very plain and simple. I said Donald Trump is a businessman. He will think like a businessman. So if you think, ultimately, when the world goes round, Donald Trump is going to get back that money as a loan, of course, in the near future. Also, he would make a profit of that. On NDTV profit, I would like to say my analysis was that he Pakistan would buy arms, ammunition, warlike stores from America with that money. That money comes back to America. So I think Donald Trump played very smart over there with various other reasons as well. And America, for that matter, if he couldn't help India, I don't think he should have actually have helped Pakistan. Because if I take you back to 2001, when America was struck by Pentagon, the World Trade, the Twin Towers, Al Qaeda, America launched a manhunt against Osama bin Laden. They called it war against terrorism. Their deployments were in Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan. They ruined these countries. And ultimately, Osama bin Laden was found where? In Pakistan. After 10 years, that too. America entered Pakistan. They picked up Osama bin Laden. They put him to sleep underwater. All right. Did they touch any of the Lashkar-e-Toiba or Jaish-e-Mohammed bases? No. They didn't touch the other terrorist launch pads because it didn't affect them personally. Whereas those also were terrorist launch pads which were affecting India. So when America did not help us that time, why should, for any reason, good reason, should India listen to America? Now, I think it was highly immature and very typical of Donald Trump, in fact, to have tweeted before anyone else. It should have come from the head of states of the two nations that, okay, I have mediated a ceasefire. Where do you want the credit? Like a child tweets, a child puts up breaking news over there. He's not a news agency. He's not PTI or ANI or someone of that level. He's the president of a superpower, number one superpower of the world. He should have maintained his stature there. Thereafter, India issued a statement. We do not need any mediation for that. We did it on our own. And the fact is, we did it on our own, whatever. Pakistan was on their knees. Pakistan literally was on their knees to call for a ceasefire. We, being a friendly country, we believe in humanity. We agreed to that request. That's a different thing. Again, I'll come to it. Whether we should have agreed to a ceasefire or not. We agreed to a ceasefire. And now everybody was disappointed. They said, come on, Modi, we've come so far. We could have taken back POK, a golden chance. We shouldn't have. I would like to urge the nation by saying, please have faith in your government because they see things, a foresight which you may not be having. For example, when you're driving a car, have full faith and trust in the driver and let him drive. When you do backseat driving, things can go wrong. So the person who's driving the car knows best when to accelerate, when to change the gear, when to put the brake, when to show the indicator. A person knows what he is doing. So they could be a larger picture which our people cannot see. And the greatest thing that happened, the strength of a country, everyone came together, be it the Congress Party, be it the BJP. There's no, be it the opposition, anyone, be it the Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, shown the world our unity. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, also said the greatest strength, the weapon of India is our unity. The enemy wanted to divide us because they couldn't see a progressing economy like India. We were a growing economy, we were doing so well. The states of Jammu and Kashmir, well, they had everything going for them. They had G20 meeting over there. Head of states of 60 different countries were there in Kashmir. And they were there, they enjoyed the boat ride in Shikara, in the Dal Lake in Shikara. There was a film festival there. Pakistan could not stomach this. So Pakistan tried their best to create communal tension in the country. Who does it? Sanjana, just think of it logically. What's your name? Which religion? Take off your clothes and read the kalma. Go and tell Modi. That kind of stuff. The Muslims were slightly defensive on the back foot. They felt, what's gone wrong? But then, I wonder if you read this open letter that I wrote to the terrorists that went viral. In fact, it was shared and published by almost every single publishing house. There I gave them hell. I gave the terrorists hell through words. Thereafter, when our Prime Minister said the greatest strength of our country is our unity, for the first time ever in a state like Jammu and Kashmir, Kashmir, which had a history of stone pelting upon the security forces, they had a candlelight march. Imagine, only state which had a candlelight march. No one, nowhere before. So now, which means when our nation got united, our enemy had a problem. They were fearful. General Asim Munir, the chief of the army staff of Pakistan, I feel ashamed of not the very fact that he has worn the uniform. He gave a rise to communal tension. He was trying to be like Ziaul Haq, General Ziaul Haq, inflaming the communal passion, playing the religious card. He talked about the two-nation theory. Well, he talked about the Hindus and the Muslims, they cannot coexist together. Rather sad, very sad. Are there no Hindus in Pakistan? Are there no Hindus in Pakistan army? How can a chief of the army staff of the nation like that, who has somebody from the America, someone from the higher echelons have compared him to Osama bin Laden? In fact, they said Osama bin Laden used to pass orders from a cave. He passes orders from an AC office, from a palace. So it's rather ridiculous. We saw thereafter then Asim Munir went into hiding. And we were like, okay, he's hiding in a bunker. He's got scared. A video emerging of him.
Major Mohammed Ali, I'm just going to just interrupt there and maybe ask you a little bit on what we just heard the Prime Minister say, what we just heard him actually talk about. There are a very clear narrative that he set, also kind of talking and alluding to India's very, very clear stance now when it comes to terrorism and having a zero tolerance policy to it. Could you then elaborate on the tactical and maybe the intelligence challenges that were involved in planning and executing a retaliatory strike like this, number one, and also the difference that the standout that there was maybe with the other surgical strikes that we have already seen in the past? What actually stood out compared to the previous anti-terror actions that we have seen from India in the past?
Right, Sujana, surgical strikes, which were known as a trans-border raid earlier, they are after BAT action. BAT action is a border action team. It was a very, very common phenomenon. It happened during my time. I mentioned about the year 2003. BAT action took place that time with a very fine infantry platoon quite close to our neighborhood. Over there to where we were deployed, 9 Jat, in fact, they took revenge on Pakistan. So we have gone across several times. They've also come, but we have gone across, we have given them hell. First, when I heard it as surgical strike, it happened in 2016, 2019, when Uri happened in 2016. And in 2019, the Balakot airstrike. Now, what I attribute to military intelligence are raw. Our raw agencies were very good. They've done very good, smart work. They gave data of precision of the enemy targets. Our aim was never to destroy or to cause damage to the Pakistan army or to the civilian establishments. We struck the terror bases. We struck the terrorist launch pads. And like how? Precise. Not a single brick of the neighborhood went missing. It didn't move. Not a single cement fell from there. This was the precision of our strikes. Now what I'm told is, we all heard in the press briefing as well, the Air Force did not intrude into the airspace. We were at our own airspace. What the ammunition that we fired went in 100 kilometers deep into Pakistan and struck their terrorist camps point blank. Pakistan said that they will retaliate. I don't understand. When our Prime Minister gave a speech, a statement in Bihar in English, because he wanted the international community to get that message across. So he would have killed two birds with one stone. That's the time he said, we will give punishment to the terrorists. And whatever land they have, the limited land, would be all turned into ashes. Now, Pakistan issued a statement. They said, if India does that, we will retaliate. Where's the logic? We didn't talk against Pakistan. He mentioned against the terrorists. What business does Pakistan have to retaliate? Which means Pakistan is guilty conscious. In Hindi, you call it chor ki dadi mein tinka. The fact is, Pakistan felt we are going to be attacking Pakistan. And we launched our operation successfully with our in-sources. Pakistan, when they tried to attack 15 of our military installations, they were unsuccessful because of our S-400, which we have got from Russia. They were so effective, they intercepted every single projectile that was fired upon India. And S-400, mind you, is that military equipment for which India had to take a great risk. We were at risk of getting sanctions from US. Turkey had just got sanctions, but yet we were on a risk of getting isolated from the entire world. But just imagine, had that equipment not been there that night when Jammu was being attacked, our countrymen, we would have lost so many of our innocent countrymen. To what? So however good the equipment, however expensive the equipment is, I think it served its purpose, it proved its mettle. Whereas on 7th October 2023 in Israel, the Iron Dome equipment was not successful when it was to protect Israelis. We destroyed the Pakistani air defense system. Thereafter, which meant Pakistan was blind. Lahore was blind thereafter. We mentioned about the strikes we did upon Pakistan. Well, let me tell you about when Iran did an airstrike on Pakistan. They've been attacked by Afghanistan, Taliban, the same Afghanistan where General Faiz Hamid, the ISI chief of Pakistan, had gone across to get seats for Haqqani Network, a group of terrorists for them. He went and he played a religious card with the Taliban, but now the same Taliban is not happy with Pakistan. So the very fact is, when we did the strike on precision, everybody in the country was very happy. We saw a wonderful press briefing by Wing Commander Singh, Vimika Singh, by Colonel Sophia Qureshi, by who was the deputy NSA earlier, and now is the Foreign Secretary, Mr. Vikram Misri. The whole country was rejoicing. Pakistan, despite kneeling down and giving up, they've already given up before, they've already surrendered 93,000 prisoners of war in 1971. Just imagine, shamelessly. General Niazi had to surrender that time when General J. Jacob, he went and he played psychological warfare. And also apart from that, Pakistan had no choice. Whereas Shahbaz Sharif gave a statement in the evening that he declared it Pakistan's victory. Can there be anything more shameful than that? No. A nation which did not acknowledge the sacrifice of its soldiers in the year 1999, when General Pervez Musharraf, the architect of the Kargil war, when he was at the helm of affairs of the military, we gave them hell in Kargil. We sent the intruders back, and we saw Pakistan army had come in civil dress, intruding into our country. When we killed them, we discovered regular Pakistan army soldiers' identity cards. We tried returning the bodies back to Pakistan with honor. Pakistan said, we do not recognize them. We don't know who they are. We don't want them. Do what you want with them. We could have done what we wanted with them, but we gave them a very, very honorable burial. Just what a treatment a soldier, a professional army would do to another soldier.
Sure.
Yes.